It's about time we had another CD update. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to another CD update. Basically my pile of CDs that I've listened to that I haven't shown has grown too big, so I need to clear it. First up is the Shakin' Stevens Fire in My Blood box set. I did an unboxing of this, so I won't show you the packaging. I'll just say, so this contains all his studio albums. I was familiar with them all, except Now's the Time. Now Listen. I knew there was something nagging me, but that wasn't right. Which was excellent, really good album. The rest of the stuff is mixed, but most of it I really love. Big Shaky fan from my youth. The two live albums on here, the Radio 1 concert from very early in his career, it was really good, full of energy. Only a couple of hits on there because it was really early in his career, so it's only Marie Marie and Hot Dog, I think, in the track listing. But yeah, lots of energy, fun, really good track. The other one was from his last tour, which is a tour I saw, so that brought back nice memories. And, you know, it was as good as I remember the concert being. The other bonus stuff is for 4 discs of extras, which is B-sides, demos, remixes, non-album singles, few live bits, lots of really good stuff on there. My only gripe really is that there's no details of where everything comes from. So, you know, it literally just lists the tracks. It doesn't say, you know, B-side 2 or previously unreleased demo from or anything like that. So that's my one gripe. But yeah, really good box set. Okay, this I've just finished listening to. This is the JBs. This is a Cherry Red Records release of 3 of their albums. Food for Thought, Doing It to Death are on disc 1, and disc 2 is Fred Wesley and the JBs, Damn Right I Am Somebody. So the JBs were James Brown's backing band, and he's all over these. The first disc, those 2 albums are excellent, really enjoyed those. The third album I didn't enjoy as much, it just lacked a certain something. I was still really good, you know, and excellent musicianship, but just not as good as the first 2. So 2 discs on one of those type cases, and then a little booklet, a little essay in there. Taylor Swift's Evermore. So this was the second of her lockdown albums. Really good, really strong. Again, contains a single, Willow, which, even though I have a soft spot because of the name, because of my pussycat, it's a really good track. But yeah, really good album. I have a vinyl on order. It's not been released yet, but very good. This is the Horn Section. 3 great songs and 8 more songs. So the Horn Section are a band led by Alex Horn, the comedian, and he's the band leader, sort of a lead singer, but he doesn't really sing, so most of the tracks are actually sung by the band members. This was bought from Bandcamp directly from them, and it is signed by them all on the back. That's Alex. So Alex is the creator and the Taskmaster's assistant of Taskmaster. So the way this works, so there's 11 songs and they're interspersed with Alex sort of introducing them, talking about them, but not in a serious way. Really a lot of fun, really catchy songs. Very good. This is the Lottery Winners Start Again EP, signed by the band, bought directly from them. So Lottery Winners I've talked about a fair bit on the channel. They're a really great new band. They've now released a proper album, a covers album, and this EP in the last 18 months. This is an interesting EP. It's the first 7 tracks of the actual EP, and then there's 3 bonus tracks, which I'll talk about in a minute. Of the EP, it's sort of a mixture of stuff that they'd released at various points, plus tracks recorded especially for this. So the first track is Start Again, featuring Frank Turner, which is new to this. Then we got An Open Letter to Creatives, which is mainly the lead singer Tom talking over music, and it's sort of during lockdown, talking to creatives, you know, don't give up, keep creating, even if it's rubbish, keep doing it. If you can't do it today, you can do it tomorrow, etc., etc. Really good, really interesting. Bad Things, which says featuring Sleeper, but it doesn't. It features Louise Wenner of Sleeper and co-vocals. That's how I was introduced to Lottery Winners, when I saw them supporting Sleeper. Lockdown Lover, Bang, featuring The Wonder Stuff. Again, it's not, it's Miles Hunt of The Wonder Stuff. Psycho Killer, cover of a Talking Heads track, which they had released in advance. Love Will Keep Us Together, which was released for Record Store Day last year as a 7-inch, and The Days Keep Passing Me By. And bonus tracks on this, it's got an interview with Tom and the producer Tristan, which is quite long, just talking about the making of the album. Pillows from 2016, and Headlock, which is a track from their first album, Radio X session of that. But yeah, really good stuff. This is Chas Hodges' Right at Home. So this is a posthumous release, obviously. These are unreleased home recordings from between 2007 and 2017. This I have on vinyl as well. Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Chas and Dave. It's got a couple of the tracks that he wrote for the Only Fools and Horses musical. What You Got to Show It, and Trigger Is What I'm Known As. Some instrumental tracks, some songs, some covers, including a cover of I'm So Tired, the Beatles tracks. But yeah, lots of good stuff on there. From the PJ Harvey re-releases, this is Stories from the City, Stories from the Sea, the demos. White one coming out. So these are obviously the demos from the Stories from the City album, which was her first Mercury winner of her two. I think I probably prefer the demos to the actual album, and it's not quite as polished. I've said before, the album itself is not one of my favourite. The songs are good, but it's not what I want from Polly. It was a bit too mainstream. But yeah, the demos are a bit more of an edge to them. This was a birthday present. This is the CD box set of the Not the 9 O'Clock News albums. So I have the vinyl box set, which I unboxed, probably a year ago or so, which was all on coloured vinyl, splatters, etc., and came with a signed print by Rowan Atkinson. This is a CD version, which is basically a mini version of it, except it hasn't got the signed print on it, so it's got the booklet and everything. And with 3 albums, I wanted it on CD as well, because comedy I like to have in my iPod on shuffle, so you know, so every now and then in between songs you get a little comedy bit. So yeah, all good stuff. Some of it's dated, but by and large good stuff. This contains Taylor Swift's Folklore album, and the reason it's all wrapped up like this was a gift from Stuart Aidan, which I have thanked him for profusely many times, and I will thank him again on here. So it is a signed copy of Folklore that he got for me through her web store. Very hard to come by in the UK store, but he managed to get one elsewhere. And it's all wrapped up carefully because it came with some tissue paper stars and a little postcard with a QR code that takes you to her website. But yeah, excellent album. This is We Come From the Sun by Cerys Matthews, Hidden Orchestra and 10 Poets. I'm a big fan of Cerys, which is why I got this. I think this is signed booklet. Signed somewhere. Oh, signed card. Signed card. I have signed copies of most of her albums. This wasn't quite what I was expecting, but it was still good. So it's 10 poets reciting their poems over orchestrated music, basically. Cerys doesn't physically appear, but she did co-compose the music. But I liked it a lot. She's done similar with Dylan Thomas poems herself that she's read, which I really love. It's Christmas themed, and it's the first thing I listen to every Christmas. But this sort of misses her voice, otherwise it's good. This is PJ Harvey, the Is This Desires demos. So this was the... Sorry, Is This Desire, not Is This Desires. This was the one before Stories from the City. This much more up my alley. And again, demo album, really good. This was birthday... No, this was Christmas. Yes, this was Christmas. Jethro Tull, 50 for 50. So this is a 3-disc, 50-track Jethro Tull best of compilation, whatever you want to call it. Career spanning collection. I'd forgotten I'd put this on my wish list, so it was a bit of a shock when I unwrapped it, and then as I thought about it, oh yeah, I did, didn't I? I enjoyed this a fair bit. Some of it more than other bits, but by and large I enjoyed it. I'll probably pick up the big albums, you know, Thick as a Brick, Aqualung, that sort of stuff. But yeah, overall, enjoyed that. McCartney 3. I haven't gone for vinyl because I'm not collecting McCartney on vinyl. I've got Band on a Run because Band on a Run's Band on a Run. But for the time being, at least, I'm not getting McCartney on vinyl. I'm sure I will eventually. But I just went for the CD version, as I do with all his new album. Well, all his albums. Enjoyed that a lot. Yeah, it is as good as people are saying it is. This is a nice box set, pre-ordered from Amazon. Bob Marley and the Wailers, the Complete Island recordings, which is pretty much all their recordings, not quite, but pretty much. This was about 15 quid, I think, for all those CDs. So it's very much typical of these sort of box sets. Booklet's a bit strange because it's literally just pictures of the front and back cover of each one. No additional information whatsoever. And then you've got each album, so you've got Catch a Fire, Burning, Natty Dread, Live, Rastaman Vibration, Exodus, Babylon by Bus, Kaya, Survival, Uprising, and Confrontation. I enjoyed these. There is a certain element of repetition in form that you get with reggae. You know, the number of tracks that have got the same. But yeah, lots of really good stuff. It didn't drag at all. And every now and then, you know, a real classic pops up to keep you going. But yeah, enjoyed going through those. So this is the normal CD version of Folklore, the unsigned version. Yeah, excellent album. It's funny because there's all this talk of, you know, the change of style for her. And I can sort of see it, but underlying it, her melodies are still very true to the rest of her recent albums, certainly anyway. It's just sort of the backing instrumentation and the fact that a lot of them are story songs that sort of differs. But there's still very much Taylor Swift. And good for it. This is Supergrass Live on Other Planets. So this was a CD they released of their recent reunion gigs. And all the money goes to Save Our Venues. This is bought directly from them. Also have this on vinyl. So the vinyl just contains the first 2 CDs of this, which is all one show. Recorded at... Was it all recorded at one venue? No, actually it might be a compilation from various venues, thinking about it. But the bonus CD on this, CD3, is... I've folded it up and forgotten. live at the Bullingdon 21st of August 2020, which has got a few tracks that aren't on the main album, plus some of the hits that are. But yeah, it's a good sort of greatest hits live set. Should be seeing them at Victorious Festival this year, which at last, so looking forward to that greatly. This is The Boy in the Dress. So this was a Royal Shakespeare Company production of the David Walliams story, The Boy in the Dress, done as a musical. And the reason I have this is because the music and songs were written by Robbie Williams and Guy Chambers, with some lyrical help from Chris Heath. It's a good musical, some really good songs on here, and at the end there's a couple of demos sung by Robbie as well. That's only available directly from the RSC. This is the Pretty Reckless's Death by Rock and Roll album that came out a few months ago. I didn't have any Pretty Reckless before this. I'd heard a lot of good things about them, so I thought I'd give them a go. Really enjoyed it. There's some really heavy stuff, which is sort of lightened by Taylor Momsen's vocals. But there's also some, just sort of classically rocky type tracks on here and some acoustic-y type ones. It's a good album, so I bought it on vinyl as well. And the album actually came with a CD. And then it comes with a lyric booklet, which has a topless picture of Taylor. But yeah, really enjoyed that. I will probably explore more of their catalogue. This is Sophie Ellis-Bextor's Songs from a Kitchen Disco Best Of, signed copy bought through her website. So these are her greatest hits basically, by and large, but it's all the more poppy ones, dancey type ones. There's none of the only slower one is Young Blood really, but all the rest are the dancey ones. And there's some new tracks at the end, some covers as well. Yeah, enjoyed a lot. Kylie's Disco. Oh, it's quite a while since I've done one of these, and I listened to these years ago. Yes, so Kylie's latest album, which again I had on vinyl as well. This was definitely a grower. I ended up listening to it 2 or 3 times in sort of quick succession, because I bought... I just realised why I had this version of it. I bought the deluxe set through her website, which I think I've already shown. But the reason I bought this one is because it's a signed copy through HMV. So yeah, I've listened to both CDs and the vinyl in fairly quick succession. And by the time of it, I was really into the album, after being a bit disappointed that she was going in this direction. Tim Minchin's Apart Together. So this is Tim's first proper studio album. He's released some live albums of his comedy shows before, but this is just a proper studio album of songs, some of which, or most of which, have a bit of a comic bent, but there's some proper serious songs in here as well. Again, another one I have on vinyl as well. First listen, I was a bit not sure. Second listen, loved it. There's some really good stuff on here. Talk Too Much, Stay Too Long, I adore. But yeah, Leaving LA, Airport Piano, I'll Take Lonely Tonight, If This Plane Goes Down, Carry You, and more. Some really good stuff. This is a box set, Chaz Jankel, Glad to Know You, the anthology 1980 to 1986. So Chaz, this came with a signed postcard, which I think I've already shown. 99% certain I've already shown. Is that it there? Well, it is there. I'll show it again because it's handy. It's just annoying that it's too big to fit in with it. Anyway, Chaz was probably best known as being Ian Dury's second in command of the Blockheads. Co-wrote most of their big hits, but he did solo stuff as well, a lot of which involved Ian Dury. Probably most famously the song I Know Corrida, which was covered by Quincy Jones and was a huge hit. But this contains 5 discs, 4 albums and some remixes and rarities, plus a nice book with a history of him as well. Is this Cherry Red? Yeah, this was Cherry Red Records as well. So his first album, just called Chaz Jankel. That's the one that's got Ina Corrida on there. Chazanova, Chazablanca, and Looking at You. And then that's the remixes and rarities. Yeah, lots of really good stuff on there. Some of it's average, but some really good stuff as well. Yeah, it really does show how long it is. This is Jess Glynne's cover of This Christmas that was released exclusively through Amazon at Christmas, funnily enough. Nice cover, and I like Jess's music a lot. Coming with a signed card. I also had this 7-inch, which also came signed. But it is just, it's a CD single with just This Christmas on there. That's better. We have, this was charity shop pickup, £2.49 from my local Oxfam just before the last lockdown. And this is Eric Clapton's Unplugged. Quite a famous album, you know, it's got the Unplugged Layla, this version of Tears from Heaven, even though it was a song that had already been released, is the one that became a hit. Lots of good blues stuff on here as well. Yeah, enjoyed that a lot. And at the same time, for £1.49, the Housemartins Best Of. Now that's what I call quite good. So this has got all their singles plus other stuff as well. Lots of tracks on there. Again, really good stuff. We have Sleepers' new old album, This Time Tomorrow. So this was the album that would have been their 4th album if they hadn't split. It's the songs that they were working on when they decided to call it a day. Tarted up, bits added, etc. But largely based on the original album. 3 bonus tracks on the CD as well. Signed copy, bought directly from them. Really good stuff. Another one, first listen, I wasn't overly, I was a bit, There's a couple of tracks that I really loved, but a lot of it was a bit, But then second listen, when I listened to it on vinyl, loved it. George Michael does backing vocals on one track. And then finally, Joni Mitchell Archives Volume 1 box set. The early years 1963 to 1967. So this is a 5 CD set of stuff predating her first album. Radio sessions, live gigs, home demo-y type stuff. Sort of as it goes on, you start to hear familiar songs. But yeah, really nice box set as well. Some really good stuff. Really nice to hear the young Joni just chatting, having a laugh. It must be really interesting to see her live at this time. And then each CD has its own little wallet. I've only got this on CD because the vinyl release of this has been a bit dodgy. I didn't like how they've done it. So rather than just releasing a vinyl box set of it all, they've released selected bits of it on different releases. So I can't remember exactly, but you know, there's one of the live concerts takes up a whole release, and then some radio sessions, I think it is another one. I think there's 3 separate releases which cover a lot of this but not all of it. Then there's going to be a Record Store Day release which covers some more of it, but I'm still not certain that everything that's on here will be on vinyl. But rather than, you know, if they'd just released a box set of it, I'd have got it on vinyl as well, but not the way they've done it. Don't like it. Okay, that's 25 minutes of your time you're never going to get back. But yes, that's the CDs I have been listening to since the last CD update, which must have been December-ish. Time to start a new pile. I'll have that many unlistened to, and I'm sure more will be coming. Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.